And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we're on podcasting apps, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Folks, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Saturday. We're coming at you a little bit later than usual, 5 o'clock right now. We're just gonna be a little bit of a shorter show. I mean, not really any news to talk about. Nothing really to do with the NFL. So we're just breaking down all the NBA from yesterday. We hit on our moneymaker. So, I mean, folks, we got to go live and do another one, right? We got to go back to back, right? I mean, these last 3 days, our moneymakers have been fantastic, folks. What was it, 2 days ago? 3-teamer, hit them all, bingo bango. 2 days ago, we had a 2-teamer going. We only hit one, but the one that we lost on, we only lost by like 1.5 points. I mean, folks, pretty good. And then last night, 3 for 3 again. So, we're basically coming live for the moneymaker, but we do have to dissect the NBA games from last night. So that's what we got today on the show. First, let's kind of, talk about our moneymaker a little bit because it is back and it's hitting real good, folks. So last night we had Kings plus 5.5, folks. We didn't even need the 5.5. They went outright. I absolutely love it. I mean, they were going against the Raptors last night. That's why we liked them plus 5.5. The Raptors, they're very falling off hard this season. They're falling off very hard. The role players are not stepping up. Pascal Siakam's not having great games. Fred VanVleet's having all right games, but we know what this Raptors team is without a superstar. It's just meh. And this Kings team is nice, folks. I absolutely love it. They're up and coming, a lot of role players, and they're all playing real good. Maybe this Kings team is actually the new Raptors team because the Jazz, who we've also taken last night, they're kind of like the Heat from last year. Everybody, kind of blowing everybody away, very deep, everybody getting it done. I mean, nobody really saw the Heat being that good in the bubble except for us. I mean, we did call that, but hey. So the Jazz are the new Heat from last season, and the Kings are the new who do we just say? The new Raptors. So some new teams getting into the mix here. Absolutely love to see it. But very well done to the Kings getting the win outright. Don't even need the 5.5, but we had it anyway. So we hit there. Jazz. I mean, folks, this Jazz team is hecka good, and I'm super happy that, we just we moved them up to number 2 in our power rankings, and they're playing absolutely fantastic. So this Jazz team -4. Who do they face? Why do I not see this real quick? Let me go to the actual. I'm blanking on who they faced. We know we liked it. We know we liked them -4 on whoever they faced. The Mavericks. Oh yes, the Mavericks. So yes, Jazz -4 against Mavericks, easy. I mean, they're just not translating from last season in the bubble to this season. Yes, Luka's playing good, but they're not winning games, and they kind of got blown out. Was that a 19-point win for the Jazz? So yes, swallowing 4, very easy there. Even without Donovan Mitchell, folks, he has not played the last 2 games because of a concussion, and they're playing even better. They're playing even better without their main guy at the point guard position. Rudy Gobert is still eating constantly. The man cannot be stopped, folks. So Jazz -4, absolutely loved it. Hit that as well. And then the Hawks -4, folks. Did you think we were going to take Wizards +4? I mean, come on. Russell Westbrook, he actually played real good yesterday, so I will give him that. And so did Bradley Beal, but it didn't translate to wins. So when the superstars step up, the role players don't. And we know this Wizards team isn't good. Usually it was just Bradley Beal scoring. Last night, Russell Westbrook got into the mix, but they still fell short because Trae Young's so good, Clint Capella's so good, and this Wizards team, they've got no leader, folks. I mean, we see Bradley Beal dropping 46 and then going. He's not pouting on the bench, but he's not energizing his team, getting the team motivated, being like, we'll get the next one. I know I just dropped 46 and I'm real good and y'all are bums, but we'll get the next one. We don't see anything, of that caliber from him. And with Russell Westbrook, I mean, the man cannot stop turning the ball over. So, I mean, he can't even lead by example. So no leadership, really no superstar. Do we even count Russell Westbrook as a superstar anymore? Just an all-star? I mean, it'd be real unfortunate if we don't count him as like a real superstar. Bradley Beal, he's still kind of a superstar, but it's not translating to wins. Unfortunate. But we had Hawks -4. I think they won by like 16, so easy there. So moneymaker, absolutely back on track here. We're gonna look to go back to back tonight. So let's find out how we do that. And, how we do that, we got to look at the games from yesterday. So let's start breaking them down. We'll quickly go through, recap the games, and then we'll go a little bit deeper into the stats. So let's start here. Pacers and the Hornets. And this was a game that, we wanted to stay away from in our moneymaker. This is the second time they faced this week. Two rising teams. They have pieces everywhere. The Hornets get the better of the Pacers in this matchup. Pacers winning the first one. Very close game. LaMelo Ball is playing real good, and we all know about the Pacers. Sabonis and Bogdan, they're all playing very well. So very close game. That's why we stayed away from it. As we see, very close game here. I want to say the spread was probably around -4, -3.5. So kind of glad that we stayed away from it. Close game. Hornets get the win, 108-105. Hawks Wizards, as we said, folks, Trae Young, man. Trae Young. I can't stop talking about this man, folks. He's so freaking good. We talked about the next step that he's taken from last season and like 2 seasons ago. He's really elevating his play, being a true leader, being the main guy, being the main scorer, and then still running the pick and roll with Clint Capella, still getting others involved. So he just dropped 41, folks. The man can ball. The man can shoot. He's a slight step below Steph Curry in his kind of three-point shooting and how consistently and how deep and how great he looks shooting the ball. So Hawks get the huge win here, 116-100 over the Wizards, and the Wizards are just a giant dumpster fire, folks. They're just not great at all. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. they lose by 16 at home. Not good. Alrighty, Cavs and Knicks, and this was another one that we just really wanted to stay away from because we really didn't know who to pick. The spread was 1. Vegas didn't even know who was going to win this game, and as we see, a blowout by the Knicks, so glad we avoided this one. Cavs lose. They only put up 81. This Cavs is a rising team, kind of a team full of role players. We see them be competitive in some games, beating the Nets, but at the end of the day, they rise to the occasion because, it's the best teams. Let's try and compete, but when they go against, the lesser teams, nobody really wants to show up, especially Colin Sexton, so unfortunate there. Knicks get the win, 102-81. Kings, Raptors, and I love this Kings team, folks. I know they're not great, but this is a very interesting team, a rising team. This is the new Raptors. It was basically the passing of the torch last night. Kings beating the Raptors by 2, 126-124. The Raptors' time is up, folks. Nick Nurse needs to either get a superstar or just retool this team because they're just not getting it done anymore. Siakam did have a good game here, but this is really inconsistent. When was the last time he was even close to 30 points like he scored here in this game this season? I don't even know when was the last time he scored 20 points in a game. So, yes, Siakam finally has a good game, but it doesn't even translate to win. So, we'll have to see who else did not step up for this Raptors team, but very well done to the Kings getting the win. All right, Bucks and Pelicans, and folks, we know this about the Bucks. They can't hit the three. The Pelicans' three-point shot last night was absolutely ridiculous, folks. Everybody was hitting. Lonzo Ball put up 27 points, and I think he almost hit like 7 threes. So this man finally has a real good game. Love it. Brandon Ingram went wild. Zion went wild. No problems there. And this was a huge blowout win for the Pelicans until the fourth quarter where, Giannis finally started to attack the basket more aggressively. Why wasn't he doing that right from the rip? I don't know. The Bucks, they can't hit the three to save their lives. They couldn't keep up pace scoring with the Pelicans. This is why we never buy into the Bucks. This is why we're very hesitant moving them up in our power rankings. I don't even think we have them in the top 5 in our power rankings. I don't even know if top 7, honestly. Let's double check. We just updated this yesterday on the show. Yeah, we've got them number 7, and I really don't see them moving up really past that. I can definitely see them moving down and moving actually out of the top 10, but I don't see them ever being better than the Nuggets, the Nets, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Jazz, or the 76ers just because they don't have that three-point shooting consistently. It's unfortunate, but it was on full display last night. Really just got blown out by the Pelicans. They were just hitting every three, and that's what the Pelicans had. They have a young, nice roster with some nice three-point shooters in Brandon Ingram. Lonzo Ball really can't hit them, but he had a nice game here. So everybody stepping up for the Pelicans, getting a huge win over the Bucks. And the Bucks were -7 in this game. Once again, we told y'all to stay away from it because we don't even really like the Bucks, especially giving up 7. I would never give up 7 if I was picking the Bucks. I mean, even against a bad team, even against, the Wizards, I would still probably take Wizards +7. Probably not because the Wizards are bad, but y'all get the point. You cannot trust this Bucks team. There's no reliable three-point shooting. And, yes, Giannis can keep going down low and eating it over and over and over again, but it's going to come up as a loss as it does every single time. That's why they don't get to the finals. That's why they barely get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They don't have that score, unfortunate. So Pelicans getting the big win, 131-126. Clippers, Magic, and folks, oh my God, this was the best value of the night, hands down. We missed out on it because the line didn't make any sense to us. So let's kind of recap it. Yesterday, live on the show, we were talking about the Clippers, Magic, and it was Clippers +4 on the road against the Magic. We did not understand that line. We just assumed Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were not going. Then we end the show, so we just stayed away from it because, yes, we like the Clippers supporting cast, but on a back-to-back, when they all have to perform well on a back-to-back basis, we just wanted to stay away from it. So we stay away from the line, and then about 3 hours, and not even 3 hours, it was probably an hour after the show, it comes out that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were actually going to play. So at that point, the line went from Clippers +4 all the way flip-flopping to Clippers -4.5. Either way, you win. But if you got Clippers +4, which I actually know somebody that did, we were talking about it on Twitter, I mean, great, fantastic value. I mean, you couldn't have gotten anything better than that. +4 Clippers over this Magic team. This Magic team has trouble beating the bottom barrel teams. Not they're not going to they definitely didn't match up against here with the Clippers, one of the best teams in the league. So missed out on some good value yesterday, but it's unfortunate. It just goes to show, I mean, folks, you can tell who's going to play, who's not going to play by the line. It's unfortunate that, the line did flip once Kawhi Leonard and Paul George went in. But, hey, it was up there for a little bit. And if you watched live on the show, could have got the Clippers +4. So, Clippers getting the huge win over the Magic, to be expected with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George playing. They're very good, folks, obviously. obviously. Magic, I mean, let's talk about them. I mean, they're floundering here. They're not getting it done. Yes, they've got some nice players in Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, but it's not translating to wins or really even consistent output scoring-wise. So, we've got to kind of fall off heavy on this Magic team. Not that we were big on them anyway, but we will not be big on them anytime soon, I can guarantee. Alrighty, 76ers and the Timberwolves, and I absolutely loved it. Yesterday on the show, before the game, obviously, when we were doing the show, we moved the 76ers into that top spot in our power rankings, and it was on full display last night. Nobody can stop Joel Embiid down low, especially on this Timberwolves team. They got no beef anywhere. So Joel Embiid is just eating all game. Tobias Harris is playing fantastic. Seth Curry's usually pretty good. Danny Green is a little kind of more consistent than he usually is on this team this year. So 76ers, everything about their starting roster is so freaking good. And then you get Dwight Howard off the bench, which isn't anything great, but it's a solid beef down low. It's a solid veteran. So 76ers proving us right, moving them up into our number 1 spot yesterday. Huge win for them on the road. Alrighty. Here we go. Last 3 to go over, then we'll get a little bit deeper into the stats. Nets beating the Thunder. I mean, obviously, the Thunder's team, they're just, a bunch of role players now that Chris Paul is out. Emerging stars in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luguentz Dort, but, they are going to need something more than that, especially when you're going against the Nets, who just have firepower, star power, shooting power, three-point power, down low power, crisscross applesauce power. I mean, they can cross you up whenever they want, with the ball handlers of Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant will just be disrespectful with it. Just come down, instantly hit a 3 in your face, and then back and play defense, and then do it again on the next possession. So hard to beat this Nets team when they're all firing, and they put up 147 points. So obviously they were all firing last night. Already, Nuggets and the Spurs. Unfortunate for the Nuggets here, but hey, once again, we kind of stayed away from this game because we know this Spurs team is pretty good down the stretch in the fourth quarter, and that's actually why they won the game. Close game back and forth the entire game, but a well-coached, Greg Popovich coached team will always get it done late in the fourth quarter, and we saw it there. A lot of great defense translating into transition offense for the Spurs to extend their lead all the way up to 10 here at the end of the game. So Spurs get the big win, beating the Nuggets. And then the last game of the night, Jazz, Mavericks, very well done. Once again, a team that we're big on is proving us right. This Jazz team, we just moved them up from 4 to number 2 in our power rankings, very close to that number 1 seed. They've got the 6th man of the year on the bench. As we said at the top of the show, no Donovan Mitchell, and it doesn't matter. Mike Conley and Joe Ingles are stepping up in this point guard position, handling the pick and roll with Rudy Gobert. Everybody's hitting the threes. They're deep on the bench. This is one of the best teams, one of the most complete teams. Honestly, it may even be a better, more complete team than the 76ers, but that starting roster of the 76ers with Joel Embiid, I think, is a little bit more dominant right now at this point than this Jazz starting lineup, but they're both very great teams. They'll be battling, for, within the top 5, probably within the top 3 for the rest of the season. Very, very impressed by this Jazz team on a back-to-back, beating this Mavs team. Very well done. Yes, Luka's playing well, but they've got really nobody else. Porzingis isn't playing, well on a consistent basis. They aren't. I don't even think they're that deep on the bench. We're gonna have to look at it and kind of, reevaluate that when we get into the stats. But Jazz get the win, 120-101. Our final pick in our moneymaker, -4, and they win by 19. Easy money there. Alrighty, let's go a little bit deeper into the stats, and then we'll do our moneymaker, and then we'll get out of here. Gotta leave some buffer time for y'all to place your bets and sit down and watch the games and watch that money rake in, folks. All right, here we go. Pacers, Sabonis. Got to start with him right off the rip, right? 22 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists to go along with that. Shot 50% from the field. Hey, not bad there. So we know Sabonis is good. Malcolm Brogdon, 21 points, 8 assists. He shot 40%, which is a little lower, a little lighter than what he does, but another 20-point scorer. And that's what this Pacers team just needs on a consistent basis. Everybody on their starters getting it done because they're a little deep on the bench. Doug McDermott, we see 11 points, 6 rebounds. That's really good. TJ McConnell, he only put up 2 points. So not great bench scoring there. They also have TJ Warren. Is that right? Yeah, TJ Warren. So, once he gets back healthy, this is going to be really a really great Indiana Pacers team. You'll get a little bit more depth with him on the bench once he starts to get back into this lineup. But, right now, this is a solid team, very solid team. As we see, Miles Turner, 20 points, 8 rebounds, can definitely get behind that. Unfortunately, Justin Holiday was, the only player that really didn't step up for the Pacers this game. Only 6 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound on 25% shooting. Not great. He took he took 8 threes and only hit 2 of them. So in a close game, Justin Holiday not stepping up, unfortunately. Let's talk about the Hornets now. Let's see. Terry Rozier, he had some clutch threes. What do I got here in the notes? Big 3 with like a second left. Big 3. And then what do we got here? Brogdon, unfortunately, cannot hit the buzzer beater with the second left to get them over the win. So unfortunate there for the Pacers, but these are 2 really good teams going at it. And let's talk about LaMelo Ball, because this man was throwing some lobs that were absolutely crazy. Half-court lobs resulting in dunks, energizing the team. This man can ball, flat-out ball. No, I can't even think of the thing. LaMelo Ball balled out. I can't even think of the name, but we move on regardless here. LaMelo Ball, 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, a complete game off the bench. Now his 3-point shooting definitely has to get better, as we see here, 0 of 6, but he shot 7 of 13 overall for the field. So off the bench, great player here. He's really emerging here. He's the best ball brother. Obviously, I think he's already better than Lonzo. Lonzo's really not that great. So very impressed with him. Gordon Hayward, only 11 points, a little lighter in what he does, but he did do grab 8 rebounds and 6 assists. So that was a close game. Let's also shout out, who else we got to shout out here? PJ Washington, pretty decent game from him. 19 points, 9 rebounds, big beef down low, really getting it done. And yeah, so well done to the Hornets here, beating the Pacers 108-105. Alrighty, Hawks and the Wizards. Let's start here with the Hawks. Trae Young, yes sir, 41 points on 55% shooting. Very well done. The man got to the line 17 times, folks. Hit 16 of them. Absolutely magnificent. And he scored 5 assists to go along with those 41 points. So really in total, 51 points contributed by this man. He is stepping up so big. He's probably the most improved player. I'll give him the vote, and it's not even that much of an improvement, but he's more consistent, a better leader out there, more consistent three-point shooter. So Trae Young is having a very, very great season. We're big on him. So yeah, I mean, when people, when the main media starts to kind of catch up on Trae Young, just know, we kind of endorsed him first here on Takes by Fans. All right, Clint Capella, why we also like this Hawks team: 13 points, 14 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, second chance points. Y'all know how I feel about it. The pick and roll between Trae Young and Clint Capella is real good. DeAndre Hunter, a little disappointed in his performance. Only 6 points, a little light, but well done to Josh Collins, 17 points and 8 rebounds. Kevin Hunter, once again, only putting up 5 points and 5 rebounds. Luckily, Trae Young put up 41 because, these two other starters here, really not great contribution there. If you're starting and you don't put up 10 points, that's going to start to be a problem a little bit, especially with kind of how lackluster their bench is. There's really nothing great about their bench. Cam Reddish is decent. Obviously, Rajon Rondo, he's a veteran. He just helped LeBron win a ring last season with the Lakers. But, yeah, he's really not finding his fit here. Obviously, with Trae Young, there's really no need for Rondo. You've got the point guard. So we're seeing not a lot of minutes by Rondo. 8 points, so I will give him that in 14 minutes. That's pretty decent. But it's just nothing great off the bench. Nothing real great off the bench. So that's why we're not too high on the Hawks. We're high enough on the Hawks. As high as you can be with the team with not the best bench. Alrighty, let's go to the Wizards. Russell Westbrook. I mean, the man played pretty good. Only 3 turnovers. Let's applaud him on that. I mean, the man is averaging 6 turnovers a game here. I mean, so, to cut it down in half, we can definitely, kind of tolerate 3 turnovers. A lot of players have, 1, 2, 3 turnovers. Once they're getting, past 3 turnovers as a starter, we got to start to look at you a little bit. And that's the only knock on Russell Westbrook. So he cleaned that up, scored 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and he shot 44%. So, very well done. This is Russell Westbrook's best game of the season, and unfortunately, it's still a loss. Same thing with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal here, 26 points. He didn't shoot the best. Didn't even hit a 3. 0 of 8 from 3. Man said, screw it. I'm shooting threes. I don't care. Stop me. Who's going to stop me? I'm the superstar here. I'm the captain now. Who's going to stop me? So Bradley Beal, 26 big old points. Only on 38% shooting, though. So, Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal doing their thing, but they got no real help from anybody else. Look at this. Jerome Robinson, 6 points. Rui Hachimura, 9 points. Robin Lopez, 6 points. What are we doing with that in the starting lineup? That's no production there. Luckily, they got, one good helper off the bench. Garrison Matthews, 10 points. That's it. Then they had Alex Len with 9 points. And then that was it. So, Wizards, they've got nothing great. Even with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal doing decent here, both putting up 26 points, it's not going to get it done. They both need to score 30-plus points, and they need their starters to all put up 10, and they can't do that on a consistent basis. They really can't ever do that. I don't even think they've done that once together here with the Wizards all season. So, this Wizards team, they're not good. They'll never be good as long as Russell Westbrook's there, and they don't have any other real superstars beside Bradley Beal. So, we'll never be betting the Wizards. We'll never be rooting for the Wizards. We'll never even think they'll win a game with this starting lineup. It's a real bad team, folks. Unfortunate. Alrighty, let's move on to Knicks and the Cavs. Let's start here. We'll start here with the Knicks first. RJ Barrett, 24 points. Very well done on 42% shooting. I can definitely get behind that. Julius Randle, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Once again, very well done. And look at this, Immanuel Quickley, some big old shots there in the fourth quarter. Not that they really needed it because it was kind of a win by the Knicks through the entire game, but a real great fourth quarter by Quickley here. And he put up 25 points off the bench on 53% shooting, 5 of 8 from 3. I mean, the man had an absolutely fantastic game. So, love that. Austin Rivers off the bench as well, 13 points. He didn't shoot well from 3, but shot well from the field. So, hey, this Knicks team, they've got some real good pieces. I'm a big fan of Nerlens Noel off the bench. Immanuel Quickley has just proven that he can get it done. 25 points off the bench is absolutely fantastic. And then Austin Rivers, he's a solid bench player. He's got no problem getting 10 points on the bench every single game. So, this Knicks team up and coming here, rising stars of RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. They got the coach and Tom Thibodeau. So yeah, solid team here by the Knicks. All right, let's go to the Cavs now. Colin Sexton, only 17 points. Got to do a little better than that, my man. We saw his big explosive game on the first round against the Nets where he put up like 40 points. But ever since then, it was like 25, now down to 17 here. He's kind of going off a little bit, not consistently scoring the ball, unfortunately. Let's shout out Darius Garland here, 24 big old points on 66% from 3 and 53% from the field. Very well done, but unfortunately no other real bench players got involved with this Cavs team, basically just like the Wizards that we just finished talking about. So I mean, look at this. Larry Nance Jr., 2 points. Come on, yes, you had 8 rebounds, I'll give you that, but you got to score the ball a little bit more. Isaac Okoro, only 5 points. Come on. I guess we can't excuse Andre Drummond because the man put up 15 rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds. So we can excuse the 4 points by the center because he also had 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, if he's getting it done in every category, we can forgive the 4 points, but that does not go for Larry Nance Jr. and Isaac Okoro. So definitely got to step it up there. Jarrett Allen off the bench is fantastic. He's very well. He's one of my favorite bigs to watch out there. Got traded from the Nets to the Cavs here, earlier in the season, but he put up 15 points and 9 rebounds off the bench. Look at this, 5 offensive rebounds. He had more offensive rebounds than he had defensive rebounds. I'm a big fan of Jarrett Allen. C.D. Osman off the bench, only 3 points here. Usually he's a little bit better scoring, but yeah, Cavs, a bunch of role players. Andre Drummond's probably the one true vet there. Larry Nance Jr., he's got some experience playing with LeBron. Jarrett Allen, he's kind of a rising up-and-comer here, big center. So Cavs losing here, lackluster performance, only put up 81 points, not going to get it done. Alrighty, Kings and the Raptors, very well done. De'Aaron Fox, 24 points. Buddy Hield, 22 points. Harrison Barnes, 26 points. Starters getting it done. And look at this bench contribution here by the Kings. Tyrese Halliburton, 10 big old points. And then what did he do here? What I got here? He hit a big old 3-pointer to extend the lead up to 4 with basically, what do we got, 45 seconds left to really help put away this game for the Hornets here, or for the Kings here. So very well done to Tyrese Halliburton. 10 points off the bench, 11 assists, and a huge clutch 3 in the fourth quarter. Love it. Corey Joseph also off the bench, 16 points, 4 assists, and Hassan Whiteside off the bench, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Very well done here. I did not realize this Kings team was that good off the bench. I absolutely love it. So very well done. I mean, I'm a big fan of this Kings team. They're up and coming. They're rising up. Once again, once the media starts to talk about the Kings a little bit more, come back to, where it all started here. Takes by fans. We're big on this Kings team. We took them plus 5.5 last night. They win outright. Bingo, bango, folks. Alrighty, let's go to the Raptors, who did not step up. Pascal Siakam, he had the best game of the season here. 32 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and he shot 55%. Got to the line 14 times, hit 10 of them. So very well done to him, finally stepping it up here. Fred VanVleet with 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 44%. Great game by him. Kyle Lowry put up 17 points, 6 assists. He shot 41%. This is a pretty decent game by the Raptors starters here. Aaron Baines here, 6 points, but he had 10 rebounds. That's what he does. He's the center. He's the beef down low. Play good defense, get the rebounds, and that's what we expect him to do here. So a little surprising if you were just looking at kind of the stats here, the numbers, that the Raptors lost the game. It's truly unfortunate. This is probably the best that the Raptors have played all season as a collective, and they aren't even rewarded with the win at home. Unfortunate. All right, let's shout out their one big bench contributor here, Yuta Watanabe. 12 points, 6 rebounds in 24 minutes off the bench. That's pretty good as well. So, unfortunate, close game as we see Raptors lose by 2. But, if you're this Raptors team, you're like, damn, we just played one of the best games, and it still translates to a loss. The energy is not going to be good moving forward with this Raptors team. All right, moving on. Bucks and the Pelicans, and we'll start here with the Bucks. We'll get them out of the way. Giannis, 38 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, just doing what he does. Got to the line 7 times, hit 6 of 7. Hey, he's cleaning up the free throws. And he shot 55%, 15 of 27, and he had 2 threes. That's usually not his game. It's, he usually hits no threes, and it's really bad when he shoots a 3 because it doesn't look good. But complete game by Giannis, but it's a loss. And this shouldn't surprise us. The Bucks do not have a great 3-point shooter, a consistent 3-point shooter, and they really couldn't keep up with how well the Pelicans shot the ball from 3. I mean, folks, the Pelicans had 21 3-pointers made, whereas the Bucks only had 13. So unfortunate there. Chris Middleton, we've been praising him all season, and then he does this to us. Only 16 points, shot 1 of 6 from 3. He's usually a little bit more consistent than that, but I will have to give him, he did have 8 rebounds and 8 assists to go along with 2 steals. So a decent game by Chris Middleton, but they needed him to step up in the scoring department a little bit better. Needed him to be a little bit more reliable on the 3 ball to keep up with, Lonzo hitting the 3 well. Lonzo had 7 threes. Eric Bledsoe had 7 threes. Brandon Ingram had 3. Josh Hart had 3. How do you keep up with that? That's real tough to keep up with. Holy cow. All right. Brook Lopez, 16 points. That's pretty average on what he does. Only 3 rebounds, though. So Zion, kind of beating him up down low. Not the greatest. Dante DiVincenzo, 10 points. He hit 2 of 3 from 3, so that's great. Jrue Holiday notches up 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So not bad from them. Not real great bench contribution here. Pat Connaughton with 9 points. Pretty decent there. Brian Forbes with 8 points. Once again, just decent there. Just nobody to be clutch. Nobody can be consistent 3-pointer shooters on this team. So we're not big on this team. We're not big on this Bucks team. We don't see them winning a ring. Giannis, he's definitely got to improve his 3-point shooting. And until he does that, this team is just real big old meh, folks. It's just meh. Alrighty, the Pelicans, holy moly, folks, we had some great performers here. Brandon Ingram, 28 points, shot 3 of 8 from 3, really great all game. Zion, 21 points, was a plus 10 in the plus minus, absolutely fantastic defense by him. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Zion doesn't take any threes. He doesn't need to. Giannis, stop taking the threes. You're not real great at hitting them. Folks, look at this. Steven Adams, 20 rebounds, 10 offensive, 10 defensive. Add them up. That's 20 big old rebounds. Why the heck is Steven Adams? Let's praise Steven Adams. I'm a big fan of Steven Adams. But why the heck is Steven Adams grabbing 20 rebounds over Giannis and Brook Lopez? The Bucks, that's their strength. Having the beef down low, having Giannis drive. So the fact that Steven Adams is just out rebounding everybody from the Bucks, another reason why we can't trust them on a game-to-game basis, why we'll never move them past number 7 on our power rankings. It's just not worth it at this point. They're not great. They're not a great team. They have a great superstar. Don't get us wrong. Giannis is fantastic, but he's not going to win a ring, and we see this time and time again. Just can't get it done. Lonzo Ball, best game of the season by him. Shot 50%, put up 27 points, 8 assists to go along with that, +9 in the plus minus, so also great defense. Had a little trouble in the beginning in the first kind of a couple minutes in the first quarter, but then he got back on track, or really got on track, in just an absolutely magnificent performance. Eric Bledsoe, another great performance facing his former team. He was a buck last season in the bubble. 25 points, as we said, 7 of 14 from 3. I cannot believe that. 7 of 14 of 3 from Eric Bledsoe, and then 7 of 13 for 3 for Lonzo Ball. Really great performances here. I mean, hey, they just went into this game saying, hey, the Bucks can't hit the 3, so if we can hit the 3, we'll win the game, and that's exactly what they did. Also, let's kind of shout out Josh Hart here off the bench. 15 points, hitting 3 of 5 from 3 as well. So really great shooting performance here by the Pelicans was enough to elevate them over the Bucks, and this was kind of a 20-point lead, 25-point lead throughout the entire game. Bucks, Giannis start to drive in the fourth quarter to make it only a 5-point win for the Pelicans, but this was a blowout right from the start, folks. The Bucks just were not in it until late in the fourth quarter. Alrighty, moving on, Clippers in the Magic, and not really too much to talk about in this game. The Clippers doing their normal Clipper things. Kawhi Leonard, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Paul George, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Serge Ibaka, 13 points, 9 assists. I love what this man brings to this Clippers team. Gets the rebounds, has solid points, 10-plus points. That's what you want from your big, and, that's what he gives on a nightly basis. So I absolutely love it. Alrighty, let's Reggie Jackson, 10 points. What do we got on the bench? Marcus Morris, 13 points. Lou Williams, 9 points. Zubac, 4 points, 7 rebounds. They're just so deep, folks. Super deep. Luke Kennard, I mean, not a great performance by him, but solid off the bench, I guess. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Not terrible, but they're great. They got the superstars deep on the bench. I think we can call Lou Williams a superstar, maybe an all-star. But they've got the pieces here with the Clippers, and when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are playing, and Paul George is playing real good here in the regular season. Obviously, he kind of shakes in the postseason, but hey, we're not there yet. Maybe he turns it around this season. Alrighty, let's see why this Magic team lost again. Well, we see it right off the rip, folks. The leading starting scorer for the Magic had 10 points. That's not going to get it done in any game against any team. I don't care who you are. The Lakers, if their starters only put up 10 points, that's not going to get it done. Same thing with the 76ers here. So Aaron Gordon has been really not great these last 2 games. Only 9 points here. James Ennis only 6 points starting. Evan Fournier, 8 points. Cole Anthony, 6 points. Vucevic only had 10 points. Usually he's got 20 points easy every game. So they just cannot do anything here. They couldn't shoot anything. The leading scorer was Terrence Ross off the bench with 24. Then the next highest was 10. 24-10. I mean, this Magic team, they're not good, folks. They're not consistent. They may have some nice highlight plays. They got Aaron Gordon, the dunk contest. He's won it. That's what they got. They got the dunk contest winner. Doesn't translate to really any solid wins here. So Clippers win big. No surprise there. Alrighty, here we go. 76ers and the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves have nobody to guard Joel Embiid, folks. No Karl Anthony Towns still for the Timberwolves. And, Joel Embiid is going to eat. He's going to eat 37 points, 11 rebounds. I mean, getting to the line 18 times. Who is going to stop him? Extended the floor with 1 3 for the game, so not bad there. Seth Curry, 12 points. Danny Green, 3 points. Come on, Danny Green. He only shot 2 threes, though, so I guess he wasn't taking a lot of shots. So I guess we can slide with the 3 points since he wasn't jacking them up. Tobias Harris, I mean, this man he's really just a guy that is bringing this entire team together. He's the closer. He's the clutchness. He's the three-pointer. He can drive. He can do it all. So versatile, and he's having great success here early on in the season. 17 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists on 66% shooting from three. Didn't shoot great the entire game, 35%, but he stepped up when he needed to. Some nice shots in the fourth quarter just to kind of keep the lead big, not letting the T-Wolves get into it. And then we had Shake Milton off the bench with 13 points, so very well done there. I mean, Joel Embiid, I think, is the clear front runner here for MVP. The threes, the driving game, the defense, the height, the points, the rebounds, everything is great by this man, and he's got shooters all around him. Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, Danny Green, and then you've just got the facilitator on the floor of Ben Simmons, as we see 11.7 assists. That's what he does. Pretty good defense, as we see a plus 18 in the plus minus. So great. I mean, this is one of the best starting rosters in the all of NBA, and it's crazy to think that Danny Green and Seth Curry, well, kind of Danny Green especially, being on, a great starting roster here. So they've got every single piece filled up. Decent bench pieces and Korkmaz, Shake Milton, Thibault, Dwight Howard. So they're actually kind of deep as well, folks. So I mean, look at this. Dwight Howard, 10 rebounds. That's what you want from him off the bench, is it not? Alrighty, what is going on with this Timberwolves team? Well, D'Angelo Russell back in the lineup here, 14 points, 4 assists. That's not going to get it done. Malik Beasley here led the team in scoring with 22. Anthony Edwards, 15 points. These aren't even role players on this team. These are just aspiring role players here, and that's why they don't really win any games, really not competitive. Now, if they have Karl Anthony Towns, he's really the glue that kind of brings the team together, but, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is not as good as Joel Embiid, so he's not going to be able to kind of do his output, and, obviously they're not even close to any of the supporting cast that the 76ers have as well. Alrighty, let's move on. Last three games to kind of cover here. We'll start here with the Nets and Thunder, and we'll start here with the Nets. James Harden, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Love it. Kyrie Irving, 25 points, 7 assists, doing what he does. No Kevin Durant for this game, no problem. And look at this. James Harden didn't even kind of, elevate his shot attempts because Kevin Durant wasn't in the lineup. He instead is passing the ball around. We are big fans of James Harden in this Nets system. He's really I want to say the only superstar out of the big three here that is really kind of retooling his game to fit the needs of this offense. So absolutely love this. Joe Harris, puts up 20 points in the starting lineup. Fantastic. With Kevin Durant not playing, somebody's got to kind of pick up the scoring, and Joe Harris just really did it fantastically. Same thing with Bruce Brown, 19 points on 81% shooting. Holy moly, folks. This Nets team, they're deep, folks. Look at this. Look at their bench. Jeff Green, 11 points. Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, 13 points. Landry Shamet, 11 points. Reggie Perry, 10 points. That's all off the bench. That is fantastic bench scoring. That is great leadership. DeAndre Jordan, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Him doing his thing here. This Nets team, they've got three great superstars, folks. They got the beef with DeAndre Jordan. They've got extra shooters in Joe Harris, TLC, Jeff Green, Shamet. And they don't even need Chris Chiazza. Remember him? We were talking about him heavy in the bubble, and they don't even need him. So this Nets team is super deep. If Kevin Durant needs a night off, if Kyrie Irving needs a night off, if James Harden needs a night off, if they all three of them need a night off on the same night, you can still expect this Nets team to get it done. It's a good ass team, folks, truly. Alrighty, let's go to the Thunder now. Luguentz Dort, only 10 points, a little lackluster from him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing what he does, 24 points on 70% shooting, magnificent there. Got to the line 13 times as well as that. 5 assists to go along with all of that, and 4 rebounds to finish it off. So, we know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is pretty much the superstar of this team. Al Horford, I keep forgetting that he's on this team now. 16 points, 6 rebounds. That's a pretty decent stat line from him. Not great, pretty good defense because they did lose. So, him being a -2 in the plus minus, that's pretty decent there in a loss. So we'll give him the defense there. Yeah, let's also shout out Hamadio Diallo, 18 points off the bench for the Thunder. So, Thunder, they really just need that one big old superstar, and they'll be fine. But, they're just planning for the draft. And until they get that one superstar, you just expect them to be lackluster, losing games, maybe be competitive in some tighter games. But at the end of the day, they won't make the playoffs. They'll be probably the 10th seed, and they're just meh. They're just meh once again. Already Nuggets in the Spurs, and the Nuggets can't get it done. Unfortunate here. Jamal Murray, 20 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds on 64% shooting. Classic what he does. Jokic, holy moly, 35 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. The man took 11 threes and hit 5 of them. He was feeling it this game. Unfortunately, Paul Millsap, Will Barton, only 9 and 8 points respectively for them. Michael Porter Jr., a little lackluster game off the bench, only putting up 9. We're used to seeing, 15 to 17 points by him. So, in a tight game, only 9 could have definitely been a little bit better. Didn't take a lot of shots. I mean, he hit all of his threes, 2 of 2, and he shot 60%. So he just wasn't aggressive scoring the ball, which, we know he likes to be. He called out, the offense last season in the bubble. So only 9 points from him. What do we got? Monte Morris, 10 points. Once again, decent bench scoring. So the starters, the usual suspects get it done. Jamal Murray, Jokic. Rest of the starters, a little lackluster. Gary Harris, 11. Paul Millsap, 8. And Will Barton, 9. Alrighty, the Spurs now. Great defense to kind of close out this game. DeJounte Murray had some nice shots and nice defense at the end of this game. 26 points. Very well done there. DeMar DeRozan, 30 points. Keldon Johnson, 19 points. LaMarcus Aldridge had a real bad game here. 5 points and only 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So really wasn't doing anything all game. Patty Mills off the bench with 17 points on 44% shooting. We can get behind that. Rudy Gay only 6 points. So, the Spurs team really just gets it done with defense. No great scoring output. I guess we can definitely give it up for DeMar DeRozan with 30 points on 78% shooting. Holy cow. Actually, that's real good. And 10 assists. So, yes, DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, they got the superstars. DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge. Do we call LaMarcus Aldridge a superstar? Maybe not. Rudy Gay, you want to call him a superstar? A faded superstar. But, they got the pieces here, and they're very well coached. Once again, coaching is not a big impact in the NBA, but if you have a real great coach, then, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Spurs get it done on the defensive end of the floor like they usually do. That's their MO. Alrighty, and then the last game that we'll get into our moneymaker for today. Mavericks and the Jazz, and man, is this Jazz team pretty good, and they're pretty deep. So let's start here. As we said, no Donovan Mitchell, so Mike Conley, Joe Ingles in the starting guards positions here. Mike Conley, 22 points, 9 assists. Joe Ingles, only 10 points, but 4 assists, 4 rebounds. We saw him a little bit better in their 2 games ago, but hey, this is still great. Rudy Gobert, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Royce O'Neal, 4 points, 11 rebounds. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, 32 huge points on 63% from 3, 7 of 11, and 62% from the field. What a performance by him. And then look at this, their bench. Jordan Clarkson's back at it, 18 points. That's what we know. That's what we expect from this man. 6 rebounds, very well done. Only 1 assist, but hey, when you're putting up 18 points and grabbing the boards, everybody else is hitting. Very well done. Juwan Morgan, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Very well. I love everything about this Jazz team. They're deep. Their main kind of pick and roll between Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert usually get it done. Mike Conley's always consistent. Joe Ingles usually off the bench. We see him elevated here. Great bench player. Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year. So they've got the beef. Royce O'Neal, Rudy Gobert. They got the shooters. They've got everything. A real complete team here. And I think, what is this, 10 straight games for 11 straight wins for this Jazz team. So and they won the last 2 without Donovan Mitchell. Even more impressive. Alrighty, that is all the NBA from yesterday. Now we got some good games on tonight. Two main prime time games to watch out for. ABC 8:30, Lakers and the Celtics. LeBron James and Anthony Davis should be good to go. I would expect them to play this game. This is kind of a big game. Celtics are kind of big. Lakers are obviously big in the West. So this is going to be a great one to watch. And then is there only one? Is there only one? I thought there was one more. I could have sworn there was another game. All right, so maybe just the one game. Just the one game, I guess. All right. Just Lakers, Celtics. All right. I still think there's another one, but we can't find it. So, all right. Let's go to all of today's matchups. Refresh the lines here. Let's get these up to date. And then we'll go and pick another moneymaker because we're coming off a huge 3-teamer from last night. Alrighty, here we go. Kings in the Heat, and it's Kings plus 4.5. Now, can we trust the Kings in a back-to-back? What is going on with this Heat team? Jimmy Butler, I think, is questionable, so he may be finally out of the health and safety protocols for the NBA. So let's quickly see our Twitter feed here. Oh, yes, Brian Flores here. Let's go back here. The Senior Bowl has been played today, obviously just ended here. Brian Flores, one of the coaches, his team must have won. They get the Gatorade bath. Yes, sir, the Reese Cup bath. And, love to see that. Very well done. Brian Flores, what a coach, man. The Dolphins, looking up. Unfortunately, we got to wait like an entire year to watch them play again. Alrighty. Do we have any updates on Jimmy Butler? What do we got? Not seeing anything so far. So, not sure if Jimmy Butler's going to play. That's the only reason why we like the Heat team, because Jimmy Butler really is the glue that holds this team together. When he's not playing, they're dumpster fire. Nobody can consistently hit any shots. Nobody can hit any big threes. We go to my favorite Twitter account here, Fantasy Labs NBA. They're really right on top of, ins and outs. So this is what we got. Jimmy Butler is questionable as of 3 Eastern today. No new updates. Same thing with Tyler Hero, questionable. I really don't care if he plays or not. He's a solid scorer, but Jimmy Butler needs to be in this lineup for the Heat to win. So we're going to stay away from it. We may take Kings plus 4.5. We'll come back to it. Love the Kings with some points here, especially facing a little bit of this kind of skidding Heat team. I mean, they got like 6 wins and have just been on a big old losing streak since Jimmy Butler has not been playing. Alrighty, Bucks and the Hornets, and the Bucks are minus 8.5, and this Hornets team has some good 3-point shooters. Both of these teams in a back-to-back both played yesterday. Hornets at home, Bucks on the road. We just saw Giannis go down to the paint in the fourth quarter over and over again, so he may not be good to go this game. He may be playing, but he may not be 100% good to go. So I think this is some good value with this Hornets team, up and coming, great shooters. LaMelo Ball is playing well. Let's quickly revisit what do they have in the size department down low. If Giannis does kind of decide to drive a lot, they get Cody Zeller. Is that it? Is that all? Bismack Biyombo, I guess, but he barely plays. Malik Monk, I don't even think he's a center. I think he's what is he? He's a guard, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we don't take this. Hornets, they don't really have any big beef down low to stop Giannis if he decides to drive. 8.5 though. That's a lot of points to get. All right, let's come back to this one. If we get any more value, we may squeeze this one in our picks here. All right, here we go. Blazers in the Bulls, and Blazers are getting 2.5. Let's go back to this. Were any Blazers on this key notes to watch? No, they're not. They're not. Is everybody good to go for this Blazers team? Obviously, we know CJ McCollum isn't. Obviously, we know Yusuf Nurkic is not. But if everybody else is good to go, Dame is out there. I think we may take the 2.5 here by the Blazers. I think that's solid. Zach LaVine's the only thing they've got on the Bulls. Give me plus 2.5 for the Blazers here. Dame Dalla is going to go crazy this game like he's been doing all season. Alrighty, Blazers plus 2.5. I think that's our first solidified pick here of tonight. Alrighty, Rockets and the Pelicans, and two teams that I love to kind of root for and big on, kind of early. I think I'm a little bit bigger on the Rockets at this point than the Pelicans. Pelicans in a back-to-back. The three-pointer shooting went absolutely crazy. I really don't see that translating over to this game, so I think we're going to go Rockets straight up here. John Wall, Victor Oladipo have been getting it done consistently. I think they're a little bit more consistent three-point shooters. Lonzo Ball, I think, is not going to repeat his performance of 26 points this game. So, yeah, Rockets, pick them. Yeah, let's go Rockets here. All right, now we're finding some good stuff here. Lakers, Celtics, close spread here. Lakers -2. The supporting cast for the Lakers have not really been showing up for the last couple of games. It's just all LeBron James, Anthony Davis getting it done. I would assume LeBron James and AD are both going to be playing this game. This game is on television, as we said, ABC at 8:30. I think we're going to stay away from it. The spread's really kind of close. No real great value. The Celtics, I don't really see them winning this game. I think LeBron and company get it done. I don't really like the supporting cast and the bench of the Celtics team anymore. I am a big fan, obviously, of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but that's really all they got. I can't trust Kemba Walker. Can't really trust Marcus Smart anymore. How unfortunate is that? So we'll stay away from this game. No real great value. Grizzlies and Spurs. Grizzlies +4, Spurs -4. Spurs on a back-to-back. Gonna stay away from them. And Grizzlies, they've got really nobody that I'm confident in taking the 4 points with. Suns, Mavericks. All right, Mavericks on a back-to-back here. Suns still without Devin Booker. So with that being said, we instantly have to be off of them. Yes, I like Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, but Devin Booker really is the third piece I want to see out there on the floor. So with him out, we'll stay away from this one. And then Pistons and Warriors. Warriors -5. We see the Pistons, they've beaten some pretty good teams this last kind of week here. Lakers, they beat them. The 76ers, they beat them. I don't think they're a good team. I do think they kind of rose to the occasion because once you're going against the best teams in the league, yeah, you kind of elevate your play a little bit. So Warriors, not 100% sold on them. We just kind of moved them out of our top 10 yesterday on the show in the top 10. We moved them out of there. So yeah, we'll stay away from Warriors Pistons. No real great value there. So let's go back to, let's see if we can get a third team in here. Do we leave it at 2 or do we fit in Hornets +8? Hornets +8, Kings +4.5. Which one do we think are we getting better value in? Let's go back to this Hornets matchup. I mean, they took on the Pistons and won by 3. Pretty good. Gordon Hayward, not a great night, so maybe he's better shooting here. Everybody played well. Nobody had like a 30-point performance that, you wouldn't expect to be replicated. So I think all this can definitely be replicated here, especially at home, back-to-back home games. That's pretty damn good. Giannis has to go and travel here. Giannis going down low. 3 points weren't falling last night. Let's do it. 8.5. I can't pass up 8.5 points on this Hornets team. I think I like them too much. Alrighty, folks, this is what we're rocking with today on our Moneymaker. We're taking the Blazers +2.5. I actually like that a lot over the Bulls. Really do like that. Rockets, this one's close. But we're going to rock with the Rockets here. Pelicans in a back-to-back. Rockets, I mean, ever since Victor Oladipo and John Wall are playing together, I think they've won every game, like 3 games in a row, 3 games in a row. So Rockets had some extra rest here. Pelicans, they just kind of blew their wad from 3 last night, so we'll take the Rockets, and then to close it out, Hornets +8.5. I think it's just 8. It's going to be too much. Maybe, yeah, the Bucks win, but I'm going to expect this Hornets team to kind of keep themselves in it with the 3, and maybe they pull that out with the win, but 8 points is a lot to get. So 3-teamer here, Blazers +2.5, Rockets, pick 'em. In Hornets +8.5. We're looking to go back-to-back. We're looking to hit 3 out of 4 days on 3-teamers, folks. That's what we do here at Takes by Fans. So get you that money. Obviously, this is classic. Basically, when you do a 3-teamer, the odds are plus 590, 600, so you bet 100 on it, you win 696. That's pretty damn good money, folks. And if you hit our moneymaker last night, it won $690. You bet all that, you take it, you're winning $4,800 today, folks. That's pretty damn good as well. Who needs GameStop stock, folks, when you've got 3-teamers? Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We're back at our normal time tomorrow, noon Eastern. We're breaking down the NBA. Probably won't talk football. Maybe we'll do a segment, but we're closing out in this season, unfortunately. So that's what we got today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully y'all win some money because we gave you some good picks here. Alrighty, folks.